Managing underperformance. Least favorite job for every engineering manager. But you know what? Ignoring it will not make it go away. So let's discuss how to handle it like a pro.
So nerdy.
Hello everyone! Today we're gonna tackle tricky but crucial topic for every engineering manager – managing underperformance. It's not just about addressing some missing deadlines or bad performance, it's about helping your employees to go back to their performance levels and thrive there. And yes, that's possible. So today we're gonna speak about how to identify underperformance, how to address it constructively, and how to create performance improvement plan. So let's start! First of all, let's understand underperformance. Underperformance is when someone consistently does not meet expectations from their role. But guess what? This is rarely because they don't care, as it's about some underground problems. For example, that can be personal issues or health problems. World is a weird place and sometimes even our closer ones are giving us hardest time, and that's when personal issues comes into play. As well, it's possible that there are health issues because, we all getting older and our health is not helping us in that. Different people react on their health problems or personal issues differently. So this can cause some issues with their performance. It can be misalignment of expectations. Sometimes, and yes, this is happening even in our industry, people think that your expectations is one and your expectations is totally different. And they're trying to address expectations which you have in mind, though you see that they're not meeting expectations from their role. Or it can be lack of skills. For example, you're promoting somebody or you're giving them a bit more that they can handle, and they just don't have specific skills which are required for them to do their job. Or maybe sometimes they need to have some trainings to make sure that they are able to complete the thing you're giving to them. And finally, this is happening a lot in our world: burnout. Yes, sometimes people burning so much about their work that in the end they're getting burned out and they don't have energy or they don't feel the motivation required for them to complete what is required from them. Understanding the root cause of underperformance is a step one of how to handle underperformance. In the book Radical Candor, there is a quote which I really like: care personally, challenge directly. Which means that you need to balance empathy and accountability. Of course, you can be a very good manager and understand what's happening in the life of your employee, but it's still the job, and job keeps us accountable. So people need to go through their problems without decreasing their performance for a long time. Identifying underperformance. Now it's a very interesting question: how to identify underperformance. Sometimes it can be quite obvious. For example, missing deadlines or poor quality of work, but sometimes it's a bit harder to spot on. So basically, to identify underperformance in such cases, you first of all need to listen for the feedback of the stakeholders or peers. Stakeholders are your best friends in this. I mean, they are having the same business interest as you have. So listening to them and they are telling that some of employees are providing not so good quality of work, or maybe not replying or ignoring them, that can be a red flag for you to start spotting underperformance. As well as the feedback of the peers. Sometimes people who are working in the same team can be quite, pissed off about the performance of their peers, because of their weak performance, they also are not able to show good performance for the team overall. One of the other options can be just simple people watching. So basically you can observe this through going through Slack channel messages or mail messages, or even looking how people behave themselves in the open space. Sometimes you can see that people morale goes low or their engagement is also low. For example, they're not providing enough details on the stand-up or on the meetings where they're gathering as a team. You can see that maybe people sometimes can be grumpy, or they're not talkative as they always, or sometimes they're just saying, yeah, I haven't completed the work, I will complete it today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and so on. Just keep your eyes on people and you'll be able to see first occurrences of the underperformance right away. And of course, you are a manager, so you need to measure something to manage this. So basically looking sometimes maybe on number of merge requests people are creating, or number of bugs which are created from their feature, that can be also good data for you to spot underperformance. So good luck in that. Of course, let's speak how to address the situation. And as always, and as something I will always say to you, the first step is communication. But this communication should not be weird, and you should not point finger to the person saying, hey, why your performance is so bad? You are bad engineer and you are not fitting the role expectations. You better start to speak about situations. For example, you can start the conversation from phrases like, I can see that last sprint you haven't met your objective. What is the reason of that? Or I'd like to understand how your project is going on and why deadlines are moving all the time. However, if you start speaking about situation, people will start to provide you root causes, or they will start about speaking about the problems, or maybe providing any additional details which will help you to address underperformance. Sometimes communication is not enough, and if you see that still performance is not getting into ranges you are expected, you can start on creating performance improvement plan. Yeah, I know that this sounds crazy, and for some companies performance improvement plan is a step one before firing the person. However, I consider these plans not as a punishment. I would say they are roadmap for success. And in my experience, I've seen a couple of engineers who went through performance improvement plan. They managed to go through this plan with success, and after that they were working in the company for a long time, and their performance was growing. They were promoting, and basically they were super successful. So what should be in this plan? First of all, you need to define specific and measurable goals. You can't say you need to start being better coder, or you need to stop being grumpy, right? So the goals should be achievable and something you can measure. For example, decreasing number of bugs which are coming from the merge request, or decrease number of reviews which are happening on merge request. Something can be even simple like stop being late for stand-ups, stop being late for your meetings, at least be on the meetings. So you got it, right? Something you can measure. Of course, performance improvement plan cannot be forever. So as always, all performance improvement plans should have specific dates. Specific dates which are known for you and for your employees. So they know that at least on one period of time we'll sit together and start measuring their performance again. Deadlines are important, because if there is no deadlines, performance improvement plan can go very long. And finally, while creating this plan and executing this plan, you need to be closer to these employees. Provide mentoring, provide coaching, help this person, ask about their progress, and unblock them if there are anything happening. Sometimes that can be even reduced workload if the person is going through hard times in their life. But once again, reduce workload not for forever, but only during performance improvement plan. And yeah, please remember, this is not about micromanagement. This is about partnership. So check your employee regularly. However, not like every day or every 30 minutes. Start with weekly meetings. Discuss what is their progress. Discuss how they're handling all the blockers or all the problems which were before creating the performance improvement plan. And of course, don't forget to celebrate even small victories. This is super important for the person who is under performance plans. They have a lot of questions to themselves. They are not confident in their performance. Celebrating these small wins will help them to get in normal very quickly. So celebrating even small wins will help them to get in their normal performance in no time. Handling persistent underperformance. Yeah, sometimes performance improvement plan is not helping. That can be a lot of different reasons. Some people just don't want to work in the company anymore, or they lost their motivation to work in this industry in general. As I always telling to you, it's easy to be a good manager when everything is good. However, good managers are defined by hard situations. And yeah, sometimes tough decision comes into play. Of course, it depends where you are working, what's the culture of the company you are working in, and then many other questions. However, the rule of thumb involve HR. HR are your best partners in this type of situations. Also, document everything. Document your one-on-ones, document logs, document problems. This will be handy in case the termination going on. If termination becomes necessary, handle it professionally and respectfully. And yeah, your team will respect you on handling it transparently. So go hang out with your HR. They will help you most of all here. And of course, one last thing we'll discuss today is how to proactively minimize underperformance. First of all, and the most important, set expectations clearly and upfront. If people don't know what is expected from them, how can they show the performance? So if you are discussing what you are expecting from your reports, define the goals. They need to understand what you want them to do. Yeah, especially if you are managing managers, of course, that will be a bit harder to do. However, you need to set the business metrics, how they're handling their stakeholders, and so on. If you are managing ICs, it's a bit easier. So define metrics they can achieve. There should be no surprises between your expectations and what your employees think you expect from them. Second, create feedback-friendly culture. Sometimes when people are working together and they're providing feedback on their peers only through you, that feels like escalation. Maybe you don't know the context. Maybe the person about whom provided the feedback does not know that they are not showing performance which is expected from them. So make sure that you created space in your team where people can go to each other and provide actionable or positive feedbacks. Because if actionable feedback provided, celebrating positive outcome of this feedback is super important. So your people will become better professionals and better team players. And of course, you always need to balance your team well-being and growth. Of course, as a manager, you want your impact to grow. You want to scale your team and take more responsibilities. But always remember that you are managing real people with real life, with their private life, their life out of the office. This should be taken into account. Yeah, sometimes your career will move slower, however, way steadier. In the end of this video, I wish you less of these underperformance talks. They are not good, they are not nice, nobody likes them. However, they are part of the job. And if this is happening, you need to put all your soul or your energy to make sure that your employees can go through these hard times. And I'm sure you can do it. So hit the subscribe button, put like to this video, maybe even leave comment. That will help us to grow this channel a lot. And that will mean a world for me. So good luck and see you in 2 weeks.
So nerdy.